What's up, my friends? It is I, Animanget. I'm back with another What If series tournament, continuing GX. We are in the third part of GX. Now I did tell you all a lie, I admit, but I had to do it because I'm not prepared for the Shadow Riders yet. I want to be at full strength for the Shadow Riders. I want to really show off for them, and the Sacred Beasts and all that stuff, but. Anyway, we're going to have probably 1 or 2 more weeks of chilling out with the crew in the schoolyard. So, yeah, we're going to be finding trouble, not working too hard, you know? So, okay, God, that was cheesy. We're going to have 23 duelists in this part. And yes, we have plenty of new characters. The 5 from all 4 of you that asked for the 5 characters they wanted, plus some of your new characters. So, let's get into it. This first, and I'm only showing new characters, except for the last person. I am showing off their new look, no, except for 2 people. Sorry, I'm showing off their new look, but all the rest of these are just new characters. I'm showing their faces, so you're gonna see their faces anyway in the tournament. But I was recommended to do this, so I will. The ones that I'm going to talk about that have already been shown a billion times. What's the point of showing it at the moment? It just wastes our time that we could be using for the tournament. So this is Chelsea Cooktrench, the first new character of Serenity's. Miss Chelsea's younger sister. Remember her, the evil teacher from several tournaments back? Frequently subs for Miss Chelsea, a bit of a nerd. Her voice is shockingly similar to Casey's, leading some people to think they're the same person. Bizarrely. That is pretty bizarre. Works as I read that weird as well. Works as a clown for hire while trying to earn money to help her streaming career. Zach has a crush on her. Oh yeah, you guys don't know Zach yet. But Zach has a crush on her. So, yeah. Second new character from Serenity Spider Monkey. Jorg Vel. I sure hope I said that right. Jorg? I'm pretty sure the J is silent. It's just Jorg. An average scumbag journalist who... What is with the Yu-Gi-Oh! And journalists? There are so many journalists in Yu-Gi-Oh! The girl, Yuma's sister from Zexal, and then Carly. Oh, and then Gerard from GX. And now this guy. Who hangs around Sparkle City, which is a big city in Serenity's part of this, in our universe. He's always on the lookout for a story he can exploit for clickbait, and doesn't see anything wrong with sensationalizing personal tragedies as long as he gets eyes on his articles. Frequently targets Jamie and Ryan. Oh, I'm sorry, let's say Ryan's full name. Ryan, Frido, Ginny, Elise. There we go. Third new character from Serenity Spider Monkey. Michelle Waters is the way you say her name. But it could be mistaken for Michelle the way it's spelled. Michel. A member of the Horror Research Club and a good friend of Jamie and Ryan's. She wants to help them stop Shinsuke and Muriel, which she's a new character you guys don't know yet. You will find out later. But you do know Shinsuke. He was in a tournament before. I believe Grand Championship. She's an adrenaline junkie and loves to commune with the undead. Frequently communicates via telepathic message. Now, that's all for her new characters, but she does obviously have 2 other characters to round out 5. Ryan and Martine have returned, and Martine has not been in a tournament in ages. We know Ryan was just in a tournament. So, but Ryan has a new deck, so we're gonna find out. First new character from Mitchell Slaughter. And I'm obviously not, it's an anime character, but he's just bringing it into this world. I was going to anyway. Just as a one-off joke, but he wants him as like an actual teacher. Professor Steps. So, you have a long text for this. Hold on. I gotta make sure. Johnny is a Jamaican pop star / rock star who used to flirt with women, including Lilo Bordeaux, which, isn't that... No. That wasn't his wife. That's the girl that he tried to hit on. before he met and married June Steps, who is the Dual Academy school librarian. I'm guessing she'll show up later. Hmm. Interesting. Okay. And then obviously he has no new characters, but he did want it mentioned that Wisteria is of course a teacher here because he has other characters. Angela. I have Angelica on my mind. Angela, Pearl, Wisteria, and Aaron are his other characters in this tournament to round out. And Coach Uriel. He actually has 6 characters. I didn't realize he has 6 characters. Whoops. Let's just count John. Let's just count Professor Steps like advance for you, Mitchell. Since you already paid for him, just throw him in. Whatever. He's gonna get wrecked anyway. He has 0 shot of winning any duels. So yeah, he did want to mention. I've already messed this up, haven't I? No, it's okay. But Wisteria teaches the dance, theater, and art classes, while Johnny is the music band teacher. Yes. Okay, we got that. Now, next is Lego Man's characters. First up, of course, is Morgan returning. Morgan has recently noticed gift boxes left around the card shop. She was in a Duel Academy card shop, the one Dorothy runs. She was initially dismissive of them and told her friend / coworker Sadie, who works there, to get rid of them. However, she was then surprised by the fact that the gifts were addressed to her. After they were opened, Morgan found various new cards, including a few that looked special and important. But Morgan didn't have any way of fitting into her deck. That Morgan didn't have any way of fitting into her deck. So she just tossed them into her bag. There were also some sandwiches. Ooh, golden eggwich. Golden eggwich. Give me. Nah, I always thought it was nasty when I was a kid. The golden eggwich episode, the Damon episode, I didn't like it that much. However, Morgan wasn't hungry, so she just gave them to Sadie. What a sweetie. Who was more than happy to eat them herself. Morgan is now looking into the person that left the gifts for her. Sadina. Sadina received a promotion to Raw Yellow after his overpowering performance in the last tournament, but hasn't given it too much thought. In fact, he's found himself kind of missing the Slifer dorm. Sure, it was cramped and had cockroaches and no running water and it smelled like fish all the time. And he had to share it with 2 other people, but it was still homely. I just added most of that in. Except the 2 other people. Despite that, however, his focus has been on Brenda recently, Brenda Mook. He knows his nemesis and her villainous plans well by now, but has been caught off guard by an odd gradual increase in intensity with them. He hasn't identified the source of this change yet, but plans to try to investigate. I love how Lego's characters always need to investigate. They are always investigating and stuff. Sorry, I need some water real quick. Celia Fox. While attending her unofficial role as the Slifer Red's local big sister, Celia received a call that caused her to step away to a private area. The call was from her mother, Amanda Fox, who was disappointed with Celia's performance at Duel Academy so far and began to question if Celia really should remain at the school. After all, she was very vocal about wanting to apply to the academy and refused to let the family pay a hefty donation in order to try to get her a better rank. Wow, she's tough on her daughter. Amanda reminded Celia of the family's motto, "A fox flies high," or not at all. Celia soon ended the call by angrily hanging up. We've all been there. We've all done that, right guys? And went back to work on her deck. She's considering trying out something new with it if she keeps failing how she has been. Brenda Mook. That's not a new character now at this point, but this is her raw yellow outfit. Brenda Mook. After her last tournament performance, Brenda found herself promoted to raw yellow. Holla, hooray! She was initially very boastful about the change in rank. However, was then pulled aside by Angelica. What the two discussed is currently unknown. However, Angelica gave her a few new cards before vanishing into the island's forest. And Diana and Dante. What does Dante have to do with this in the forest? And why is Duel Academy allowing the little kids to the teenagers to run into the forest? Come on. Crazy stuff happens in that forest. We've seen many seasons of it. Since then, there could be killer dolls out there. That's the number one threat, clearly. Brenda has had a different aura about her. She's still pulling her usual pranks. However, anyone paying close attention, namely Sadina, the detective, can note the local detective, can notice that they're gradually getting more extreme. New character from Lego. Michi Takahashi, a raw yellow upperclassman. You love raw yellow, don't you? That's known for her shy demeanor and love of science. Science! She entered Duel Academy. I wonder who she's going to get along with. She entered Duel Academy because she thought it'd be an opportunity to research duel spirits, and she's felt the opportunity only increase in recent months. She doesn't have many friends due to her nerves stopping her from making too many. Her two closest friends are Jordan, who was her childhood friend, and her duel spirit, mathematician. Oh, that's so cute. However, she has been able to make a new one recently, albeit they had a rough start. Now we get on to Justice's characters. Jamie Jam's characters, which will include Justice. First up, Miku. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to say, first off, I'm just going to tell you, he didn't want Angelica in this tournament because Angelica just won, but she does have a bit of lore, so hold on. Angelica's lore. She is enjoying teaching students and loves bonding with her fellow teachers and is proud that her... Oh, this is the lore of... I wrote down the lore of Queen Victoria. Sorry. But it is part of Angelica's lore too. Queen Victoria is enjoying teaching students because she's spirit duelist teacher, and like Paul, and loves bonding with her fellow teachers and is proud that her daughter won the first official school tournament, which is true because the very first tournament didn't. It was just entrance exam. Helped by Justice, built a brand new deck. She said this deck was his destiny and shouldn't change it till absolutely necessary. Now, this is a new deck she helped build with Justice, for Justice. So that's the lore on that. Honestly covered 3 characters' lores there. Miku, okay. Miku is happy that Justice somehow got Kaiba, who's the Chancellor, and yes, he's in this tournament, to agree to building a theme park near the bottom of the island. Probably because he can scare students on the horror ride that he agreed to add. Miku is helping use her cosmic power to help with construction. Miku is so cool. Justice. Alright, now for our quote-unquote main character. One of our 4 main characters. Okay, so like we already said, officially agreed with Kaiba to start building the amusement park for Miku. Of course, money talks. That's probably how we got Kaiba to do it. It might take a week or 2 depending on how much money he is throwing around. It could take a few days. Do you see, if you get those guys who built the buildings for Crowler during the Bonaparte duel, you'd have it done in hours. Probably minutes. The power of anime building. Anyway, happy that Morgan is noticing the gifts he has been leaving her at the card shop. Mostly sandwiches. Well, dang, I just ruined the story. I just ruined it. I just gave away who did it. Who was giving the sandwiches. Well, now you know, okay? And very rare cards. Justice went to go say hi to Michi and challenge her to a duel and flirt a little, but he ends up startling her, causing her to blow up his deck. Oh, this is how he built the new deck. Oh, I didn't even read this full thing. But he forgives her and hands her money to pay for her damaged uniform. You better. He spends time with his mom, and now she helps build him a new deck. And he wonders what Angelica is doing, but Angelica's probably emo somewhere in the forest. That's another danger in the forest. All right, new character from Jimmy Jams. Diabellister. I just call it Diabellister. A dual spirit that's also a deck in the game. A dual spirit that literally latched onto Justice. Oh, and now follows him wherever he goes, wanting to protect him from anything, absolutely anything. When Justice wished for the spirit world to fuse with the human world, it ended a war that she was in and feels in debt to him now, just because of how it ended in Duel Monsters. Remember, we made peace. Maid Luna. She was born on the same day as Justice and was raised alongside of him, but one day they were separated. Little did Justice know that was so she could learn to become his servant and maid. She is now become his servant and maid, and back and ready to serve Justice and his family. She is obviously in love with Justice, and Justice has missed her so much. Aww. Obviously a new character from Jamie Gems as well. And now we get to the Chancellor. Finally arrives. Kaiba X. Kaiba X. Chancellor Kaiba X is here. I've even changed his name. And he brings... Now, this is the lore of the backdrop of this whole tournament. Crowler does not like how things went, obviously, especially for him, in the last tournament, Welcome to Duel Academy. And he immediately sends all these students that are in this tournament to detention. Detention for all of you slackers. Yeah! He just gets so mad. He sends them all to detention. Doesn't even give them a reason. They try to talk. It's like, nope. Zip it, slackers. Straight to detention for you. And they go straight there. And Kaiba even meets them. Like when they sit down, or when Kaiba arrives into the room, they all sit in fear. Chancellor Kaiba X has appeared before them. Yes, it is him, the man who couldn't even win a tournament. And they're all afraid of him somehow. No, but seriously, he's one of the only men that has as much money as Justice. So, yeah. Now, obviously, in this lore, Gozaburo has passed at this time. In this part of the lore, Gozaburo has passed. Kaiba has full control of the company. Obviously, his brother's been dead. Or in the Shadow Realm, whichever you want to say. And now he has full control of Kaiba Corp. He is the preeminent rich guy right now. And he doesn't even... I didn't even change his deck for here. He's just the Chancellor to hate on. And he brings with him 2 of his personally trained top professors that he specifically uses to deal with what he considers thug students. You're all thugs, you're all amateurs, and you're going to be taught a lesson. So I bring with me Professor Wheeler. Yes, in this lore, Wheeler and Kaiba aren't that big of enemies. They still don't really like each other, but it's less standoffish. You know, it's less trash talk. So he respects Joey enough. You know, Joey's been has Joey been closer than him to winning a tournament? They've been about even, I think, but neither has won. Anyway, Professor Wheeler is in the house, and he's going to be teaching these kids. And yes, I've changed his deck and the other professor's deck, who is Professor Keith. That's right, Professor Keith is the 23rd duelist in this tournament. Professor Wheeler and Keith are basically the detention style. You remember those teachers in detention that you got? If you went to detention, there were those specific teachers that did it. Usually the gym teacher, but these 2 are specifically for this. So now you know. This is the whole reason they're here. It's just a slice of life. I mean, there's some problems in it, but the students better win or they're going to be in trouble. It's a slice of life tournament, and next week probably will be 2, and then we'll get to Shadow Riders. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. See you for the tournament. Bye.